Just excited about this time of year, thrilled about how this team is playing. We feel like we've positioned ourselves to be good enough to win the tournament. Now, being good enough and actually winning it are two different things, but this team has worked extremely hard, and our growth, particularly in February has been amazing, and their attitude, their effort have been A+, and now our execution, I said it's been at a C most of the year. It's up to about a C+ or a B, and still a lot of room to grow, but what this team has accomplished over the last month has been a ton of fun to be around. Their attitude towards work, their attitude towards each other. We've said all along, we're going to play with passion and we're going to play with great joy. And if we can learn to love each other, then we can win. And this group has learned to love each other, and it's easy. It's easy. It's easy to love this group. It's easy to be around this group. They're so much fun. They play the game with energy, and they play the game the right way. And it's been a lot of fun for me to coach this group. We've reached some milestones. I just want to talk about just briefly. Christian scored his 1,000th point, and he'll be the first to tell you he'll trade all that in for an NCAA berth. He'll trade that in 2 seconds, but I want to make a big deal out of it. He won't say a word about it, but I want to make a big deal out of it because only 5 people in the history of the Big South have done that. 5 players in the history of the Big South that scored 1,000 points in 2 years, and that's an amazing feat. The way he's guarded, the way he's pushed and shoved and hammered, and his aggression and is just outstanding offensively. And I'm most excited because he has so many areas to continue to grow in. It's going to be a lot of fun watching that. Christian made second team all conference. He was 6th in the voting, which is 1 or 2 votes away from being first team all conference. And for a guy last year who was runner up for freshman of the year but didn't make first, second, or honorable mention, to do that is another amazing feat. And then Christian was all academic, which is, I'm sure, is going to look back and be one of the best awards that he's gotten, even though it's not as flashy right now. And Phlandrous was runner-up for freshman of the year. I thought he deserved to be freshman of the year. He's my freshman of the year, and I thought that particularly late he's been amazing the second half of the season, and his character and his leadership as a freshman, leading as a freshman and helping to lead as a freshman, and he has that same offensive aggression that Christian has, and then we think Phlandrous very quickly will be one of the elite defenders in our league because of his willingness to get down and work on the defensive end. So great day for us. We're excited about the tournament and excited about these being recognized by their peers and by the media across the Big South and by the other coaches that voted for them is rewarding for me that they see the excellence of these 2 guys, and we're excited about that.
Barclay, can you talk about in your years here, you've always had high-scoring teams that could run up down the floor and shoot 3, and that was your game. You talked about in the preseason about defense, and Coach Duckett coming in, being a defensive guy, but really down the stretch, you were able to put it all together where you could score, but you were scoring a lot off the defense. Talk about the change in, not necessarily change in overall philosophy, but you really stressed defense from October, and it kind of paid off down this 8-3 stretch.
Yeah, it really has, and we've talked about defense every day since August, and these guys have really bought into being excellent defensively. One of the best things this team does is create turnovers. We're still in the top 20 in the country in creating turnovers, and there's no doubt that they have a very unique ability with their length and their athleticism to create a lot of turnovers, which creates a lot of easy buckets, which allows our shooting percentage to be higher and higher, not just relying on our half-court offense. And I think we've just tipped what we can be defensively. We've just tipped the very tip of the iceberg on what we can be defensively because it's all new for them. And I credit Coach Duckett a lot for bringing in not a new philosophy, but helping us to refine our current philosophy. And his experience has been invaluable for us. And we've really enjoyed him defensively and what he's brought to our program. And we've been willing to sit guys down who don't defend, and we've been willing to be accountable And that was a big step for us early, for some guys getting used to sitting down for not defending. That's been new for me. And that's been something that's been really good, and to hold that high standard defensively and not always trying to outscore people. I've always been an offensive-minded coach, and we want to win the tournament in these next years, this year, in the next years. And I know in order to win the tournament, you got to be able to defend, because over those 3 or 4 games, you're going to have a bad offensive night. So I feel like we can defend as well as anybody in our league, and I feel like we're good enough defensively to compete in our tournament. And but we know we got a tough first opponent. It's going to be really difficult.
Is this the most wide open this tournament has been in years? I mean, you guys finished 500 in the league, and you're still 8th place and playing the first round game.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe that. I just kept on asking Kev. I said, what does this Winthrop win do for us in the seeding? I don't know yet. Well, we're going to be 4th, 3rd? Where are we going to be? Well, I don't know yet. And then to end up 8th. But that's what we got. So we're going to make the best of it and turn it into a positive. The positive is we get another home game, and we get to be in the Buck Dome again. Man, that's fun. That's always fun when we get to run out there in the Buck Dome, particularly the last month. Our crowds have been a little bit more like what we're used to. And it gives us just another opportunity to play another game. And we're excited about that. So we'll take whatever we can get. We just want to keep playing. We want to keep moving forward. We'll play them home, away, neutral, out back on the blacktop. We'll play wherever we can play. This group just likes to play.
Christian, what's different about this team from where you guys were last year, even at the beginning of this year? Seems like these last 9 games, y'all have really been a different basketball team.
Like you said, it's just the energy and the positive vibes around the program, and we hang our hats on defensive end, so everything just comes together. You know, we able to get the chemistry, and it put everything together. That the coaching staff was teaching us from day one. So when you really get the things going, offensive and defense, it's just a scary sight.
When you got a head coach like Barclay has been this year, just so positive. So what does that do for you as a player?
You just keep my head up. Keep my head above water. And be able to, if he's positive, I can keep the team positive. Because he's what everybody look at, and he has a positive mindset. Why would the people that's following him wouldn't have a positive mindset? So he just keep us positive. He talks about the energy of us being positive. You always hear that word around our program. So it's just always adapt to it so easily. So yeah.
Christian, with this being still a pretty young team, how do you make sure these guys, don't get overwhelmed by looking at the bracket, and make sure they just take it one game at a time and don't look ahead too much this weekend?
You just take one game at a time. Like Coach is telling us from day one, every game is our championship game. Like PC coming up, that's a very good team, like Coach said, and that's our championship game. We're not trying to look forward. That shows a sign of maturity. Just take one game, one possession at a time. So it's just me being a veteran. It's kind of funny to say as a sophomore, but it's you just gotta keep them balanced. Never get too high, never get too low. So you just gotta keep them balanced.
Coach, talking about these 2 guys and how the youth of this team, how exciting is it for you going into the tournament, going into next season, see the success they've had this season, looking ahead?
Well, it's just every day with this group has been a lot of fun. Every single day has been fun. Even when we lost 4, 5, or 6 in a row, the energy that they had, you couldn't tell. You could not tell that we had lost a number of games on the road. They just come to work. And our goal, we've had a lot of goals this year, and we've met a lot of those goals. We still have some goals out there, but we wanted to have a foundation to build on of positivity and energy, and we wanted to continue to recruit high-level players with high-level character. I can't understate the value that Flan has brought as a freshman. Just from day one, his energy and his positiveness is inspiring. It's inspiring for all who watch. And when you see him, I've been with him now since August every single day, and I can't count 2 bad days that he's had with his attitude and with his effort. And it becomes contagious. And I'm so excited about our future. I've had so many people call and ask me about our future, and we are going to be really good. We're going to be really good, but we want to be really good this year. We want to be really good now. And We want to continue to build on what we've built, what we've formed this year for our future. We want to continue to build on that and go as far as we can. We want to play as many games as we can, whether that be in the Big South and then tournaments after that. We want to play as many as we can this year and continue to grow and build a foundation that's going to be really strong. We really wanted to do things the right way so that our foundation will be long-lasting, and that for the freshmen who come in next year and the people to follow, that there's a positiveness and a strong foundation built on defense, rebounding, and loving each other that will last a long time.
Flan, what's it like for you as you get ready for your first postseason tournament as a college player?
I'm ready for it. It's going to be a little different in college than last year when we went to the state championships and high school team. It's going to be a lot different, but I'm ready for it. I can't wait to play with these guys and play with coaches. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What was your biggest adjustment to the college game? I mean, you had some high games, and then you went through a little valley there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it just really the grind that it's so much different than high school? What was the biggest adjustment you had to make?
My biggest adjustment probably was just staying at it. College basketball is very frustrating and very tiring. Sometimes I get into my own head, putting myself down, my shot not falling, or I'm not doing good on the court or something, or off the court or something. Stuff, just everything's coming at you at one time. But my biggest adjustment is just to stay positive, like Coach said. I've always been a positive person, always smiling. I always love to be around my teammates and my coaches. But my biggest adjustment probably was just staying at it and just staying focused, just keep going.
How is this program kind of coming into it and being, like Barclay said, loving each other is a big part of it, positivity is a big part of it. As a freshman, how do you join up with that? I don't know.
Well, I got a good home base. My mom, my dad, they always loved me. They always taught me to keep a smile on your face, because a smile is a welcoming kind of thing. And these guys around here, I don't know what it was. We just came in the summer, we played pickup. Before I went on my visit, we just gelled. I don't know what it was. The freshmen that came in with me, we all just gelled. Every day we hang out with each other. If we want to talk to each other, we call each other at the end of the night, like, "You all right today, bro? You good?" I don't know what it is. It's just, we just gel.
When y'all were struggling at the beginning of the season, did you think that you could win 7 of your last 9 and be in this position where you truly feel like this is a tournament you can win?
I did, actually, because we saw sites early on in the season where we were actually really, really good. But I guess our youth, and we started making certain bad decisions. And the thing about it was, we never got down. I knew for myself I had to just stay positive, just keep a smile. I always talked to my team. Christian always kept us together. Cortez, Javis, all the seniors. We always stayed together. And like Coach said, in practice the next day, the music is always still playing. When we stretching, I'm always still dancing. Everything I knew we were going to turn around eventually.
Coach? No, go ahead.
Christian, you mentioned a minute ago being a veteran as a sophomore, and that is, you don't hear that often. How's that been? What's that like for you?
I think I can say that when I put that many points in the bucket.
Oh.
But nah, it's actually humbling, being the young kid, the new kid on the block last year. So people I'm looking up to now. You see people like Flan and Didi and other freshmen looking up to me. It's kind of like emotional sometimes, because it feel like I was in that position last year. So I know how they feel as a freshman trying to adapt to things. So I just try to give my best input, my best advice to help them on and off the court. But I try to push them off the court more than anything, because the growth of a man is better than a growth of a basketball player in my eyes. You can take it so far with being the growth of a man, and I think that carries on into the basketball court. You have trust and stuff off the court, then I could trust you on the court, and I think that's what just happened. Just feeding into my teammates.
Coach, as well as you guys have been playing, Presbyterian still a team that came in here
yeah.
and won a game a couple of weeks ago. So you guys
man.
have to be ready.
What a tough draw. What an amazingly tough draw, and they're very good. Reggie Dillard's an all-conference player, and Dustin has really re-energized that program, and they're in every game. I can't believe how competitive they are this late in the year. I'm so impressed with how competitive and tenacious they are. Defensively, how they've grown. What a tough draw. What an amazingly tough draw. But, we're going to take them one at a time, and we know they can come in here and win. We know they can. And we know we have to be ready to go just from the opening tap all the way 40 minutes. They beat us here, and then in the game there, Flan hit two threes in the corner to give us a little bit of space. It was a very difficult game, and so we're anticipating an immense challenge, a team that's highly competitive, and you can throw their record out. I don't even know what their record is. I don't want to know what their record is. You can throw it out. They'll be in here ready to play, and they're in the same position we are. They have to win to advance, and we want to win to advance, and they want to win to advance, and we know it's going to be a very difficult game. So we're one game at a time, one day at a time, and we'll be well prepared, and this team will give an amazing effort.
Based on the two games you played, you would expect a grind. I mean, it's just going to be like a heavyweight fight because neither team really lit it up offensively in either game. It was a defensive game. And isn't that what happens in the tournament? Doesn't it become a half court?
It does.
You better execute every possession, or you miss 3 or 4 shots, you could end up.
Yeah.
That could be the game.
Yeah, we've talked with you guys these last few games how much it's already felt like postseason, and that it becomes a half court game, and it becomes a execution game and hitting big shots late. And just at Winthrop the other day, we're up 20, and then just at the blink of an eye we're up 10, and another blink of an eye we're up 6, and we know teams are desperate. We're desperate. We're all desperate at this time of year, and no lead is safe. Every possession is about execution on the offensive end, and then sprinting back and having great execution on the defensive end, getting a number of stops in a row, executing offensively to get the best shot. Coach Fogler, when I worked for him, he used to say, the team that has the best possessions will usually win that game, and so we want to have the best possessions we can possibly have, and we're in postseason basketball, so we're ready for a game like that. We're anticipating a very tough, grinded-out game.